Hi y'all, this is Amy checking in for my 3-week post-op update. Today is Saturday, April the 2nd, 2016. I had my surgery a little over 3 weeks ago on March the 10th, 2016 at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. My surgeon was Dr. Michael Tyner. In terms of stats, I need to look at it up on my phone. So my highest weight ever was right before my preoperative diet started, and that was 401. My surgery weight was 379, and my current weight is 355. So since surgery a little over 3 weeks ago, I lost 24 pounds, and since the beginning of my preoperative diet, which lasted 3 weeks. So since the beginning of that till now, I've lost a total of 46 pounds, which is great. I'm pleased with that success. I do think that I am about to hit the famous, what do I call it, 3-week stall. I've been averaging to lose about a pound a day. I have been weighing myself every day, which I know is not something that is typically encouraged, but I have been. I'm only tracking it once a week in my FitnessPal. But I am weighing myself every day, and I have noticed that I seem to be going down about a pound every day, except for the last couple of days. I don't seem to be moving all that much at all, and I would suspect that that's because I'm coming up on my first stall, which, you know, it's disappointing, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly expected. I understand that that's fairly common. Most people do it. It's a time for your body to kind of stop being in shock from the surgery, and is to kind of figure out what's going on, right? And so that way it can adjust and move forward. So who knows how long it'll last. I had read some stuff that people recommend that during the stall, you know, you might not lose any weight, but you should still be losing inches. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I was encouraged to start taking measurements, you know, of, you know, my chest, my arms, my stomach, and all this stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know, we'll see. So Thursday, I started on Thursday, today being Saturday. So a couple days ago, I started officially on soft foods. I had been cheating a little bit and had started some soft foods a little bit early, things like scrambled eggs, that sort of thing. Last week, I had my first real encounter with something that didn't really agree with me. I made my scrambled egg with half an ounce of reduced fat cheddar cheese, like I have been doing, and it was fine. But I was hungry, so I had that. Plus, I also had one chicken sausage patty to go with it. You know, that's what I used to have pre-surgery. Was, you know, I'd have some eggs and one or two of those sausages, and I really wanted one of those sausages. I was really craving it, so I had it. That one sausage I cut up in, first I cut it in half, and then I cut it into total 20 pieces, and like I just chewed the shit out of it. Like, it just turned to mush, and like they say chew 20 or 30 times, and by the time I get to like 20, 25 times, there's nothing left to chew. Like, it's all gone to little tiny bitty pieces, and it's gone. So I did that. It took me a while, and afterwards I felt uncomfortably full. Too full. I probably should have stopped, but it just tasted so good and I wanted it. But I just kept eating, and I didn't vomit. I didn't have any, you know, major issues with diarrhea or any sort of those sort of things. But I did have some abdominal cramping, and I just didn't feel great. So I lied down for a while, and it probably made me feel crappy for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. And then by the time, you know, I started feeling a little bit better. So I think that was my first real experience with having something that didn't go too well. So either I ate too much, I didn't chew enough, which I find very hard to believe because I chewed the shit out of that stuff. So I think it was just a matter of, maybe it was I took too big of bites. I don't think so, but I think I ate too much, and I was just too excited about it, and so I just ate too much. So I have learned a lesson from that. Yesterday was the very first time that we went out to a restaurant since surgery. Now, of course, when I was on the preoperative diet for 3 weeks, plus it's been 3 weeks post-surgery, so I haven't been in a restaurant in a really long time. So we went yesterday. We had run some errands, and so we were out, and so we went to Chili's. And on our way there, I was kind of checking out the menu, and I was thinking a lot of people, even though it's not a soft food, people were recommending, you know, that it's really good if you're going to go to a restaurant, and, you know, it's kind of a Tex-Mex sort of roadhouse sort of thing. So there's not a lot of great stuff on the menu to begin with. And I'm on soft foods, but I thought about maybe I would check out the fajitas. That's what somebody recommended. To check out the fajitas. Don't eat the tortillas or the cheese or the sour cream or the guacamole, all the shit that comes with it. Just focus on, you know, the protein and the vegetables. So I was like, okay. So I checked it on the menu in advance. And it had 22 grams of fat. And I was like, what the hell? They must put tons and tons of butter on that skillet when they're cooking all the stuff. And that's probably why it tastes so damn good. So I did not get that. I was thinking about just getting maybe a cup of their chicken enchilada soup, but I looked that up and it had too much fat and too much sugars in it. Not by a whole lot, but I'm going by the approach, as per my nutrition, that the fat and the sugars should be less than 10 grams per serving. So single digits is what I'm looking for. So I think that soup for a cup, it had like 14 fat and I think 12 sugars. And it, you know, I probably could have gotten away with it, but you know, I want to be good. So what I ended up getting instead was I got 2 side dishes. I got a side order of steamed broccoli, and a side order of sauteed shrimp, like little tiny shrimp, and there's like 12 of them. Anyway, I'm not sure if you can see, but here's a picture of them. It's not very good. There's a bit of a glare. But that whole plate, when he brought it to me, I thought, oh my God, that is so intimidating. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish that. And I ended up, out of the whole plate, I had 6 of the shrimp. I had half of the shrimp. And that was it. And maybe a tiny 3 or 4 pieces of broccoli, just tiny ones, and then I was just full. And I wasn't like super full, but I didn't want to press my luck either. I'm supposed to be on really, really soft foods, and that was a little bit harder than I probably should have tried. It was okay. I didn't vomit or anything like that. I didn't have like an immediate bad reaction, but it was funny. So my husband had like this big, enormous sandwich. Well, enormous to me anyway, and it looked really good, but I wasn't terribly tempted by it or anything like that. So by the time I was done, he had finished half of his sandwich, I think. After I'd had my 6 little shrimp. And I told him, I said, honey, just so you know, if you want, stop eating that other half of the sandwich because I can't eat anymore. If you want it, you're more than welcome to have it. So he's like, yeah, okay. So he grabbed his fork and he went stab. And then he put all the 6 shrimp in his mouth. And I was like, oh dear God, that's gross. Like, I know that I'll never be able to get to that point again where I could have all that, but it was just so funny. Like back in the day, no problem. 6 of those tiny little shrimp, no problem. I can knock that out like that. But those days are long gone. So that was interesting. Yesterday I did have some little urgent bathroom needs. I'm not sure if that was a result of eating that food, but today's been fine so far. Granted, I haven't eaten anything. It's 1:20 and I haven't had anything to eat. I've had 2 protein shakes today. Speaking of, that was another experiment that I did the other day. On Thursday was my first day of soft foods. So I was like, Jazz, I'm like, finally, I'm officially on soft foods. I'm really stoked for this. So what I have been doing is I've been having 2 protein shakes a day, which will give me 60 grams of protein, and then I supplement the rest. My goal is between 80 to 100, so I get 60 from the protein shakes, and the rest I've been getting through food. And I've been eating mostly really protein-rich foods, so things like eggs, cheese, hummus. I tried tuna the other day, but it didn't really sit well. It didn't taste good. So I'll have to try that again another time. But those are the sort of things that I've been doing. So the other day I was like, okay, I can eat soft foods. Sweet. And so I only had 1 protein shake for the day instead of 2. Excuse me. And I was like, I'm only going to have 1, and then I'm going to get the rest through food because now I can eat food. Womp, womp. Nope, not happening. I just couldn't eat enough. I couldn't eat enough food to hit my goals. Because I had to wait, the 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after before drinking water, I wasn't able to get my liquids in. So I think it's important, and I realized that was probably a little premature for me to feel that way. I'm still, only 3 weeks out. I think I need to keep doing, 2 protein shakes a day, and then that'll supplement the protein, and the rest of my protein I will get through food. So I'm going to continue to do that. It was interesting. It was an interesting experiment, though. So lesson learned. I'm prepared for that. Tonight we have a little bit of a social gathering going on. My husband has a monthly game of cards friendly game of cards. So a bunch of people are coming over for that, and so I'm gonna make some snacks for that. I'm gonna try to make them protein heavy, so that way I can perhaps partake one or two. I've got some chicken meatballs that I'm gonna try. I don't remember the name brand of them. I don't have them handy right now. But I'm gonna try those, and maybe I'll try one of those tonight, as long as it's super soft. And I'll try one meatball just to see how it is. These people are a good group of people to use as guinea pigs on new products, new recipes, and stuff like that. Oh, and I was gonna make some egg bites. They're like little mini crustless quiches. I got them. They're called egg bites on the website, The World According to Eggface. I love her. She has so many ideas, so much awesome stuff, so many things that I want to try. So she has tons and tons and tons of variations of these egg bites, and I'm going to try some of them tonight. And I'll throw them out to the hounds, and we'll see what they think about them, and then see what I think about them too. Because that's the thing. Like, the recipe will make a 24, mini little egg bites. But what if I don't like them? Now I've got 23 of these things. What am I going to do with them? So that's why I figured I'll make them for the group. They can eat them up, and I will try one and see if I like them. And then if so, I'll continue making them. So like I said, on Thursday I started my full regimen. Or I started soft food. So with that, I also was told to stop taking my B complex vitamin that I had been taking once a day. It tasted awful. And to start my full regimen of regular vitamins. So this is what I'm going to be taking now for the rest of my life, is this regimen. And so I bought a couple of little cases to kind of store them in. I'm trying to figure out how I want to kind of keep them organized. So I bought this case. You can see it's got the days of the week on it. So, for example, the one for... So here's what I'm going to be taking in a day. So I've got half a blood pressure pill way down there in the bottom. And I also take a pill for my hypothyroidism. So I take levothyroxine for that. So that's not a vitamin. So what I'm going to be taking is 1, 2. Those are 2 multivitamins a day. So I'll be taking those 2. And then 2 hours later, I eat these 4 candies. And I say that they're candies. They're the size of Starburst. Let me see if I can take one out here. These things are so jam-packed. So tight. It's a brand new case, so it's a little tight. So here's an example of one of them. It's got 500 written all over it. Because it is a calcium citrate chewable. It's like the size of a Starburst, if you're familiar with Starburst. So about the size of those. So I'm going to take 4 of those a day. The flavors, they've got lots of different flavors. The flavors that I have are coconut and caramel, which are really good. The store where I buy them from, they gave out samples, and so I tried them in advance, and I knew that I liked them. In fact, I just went there today because I had to buy some more Premier Protein drinks, and they had other flavors too. So I picked up a couple of those. There's chocolate, and there's orange, and I don't know what else. But anyway, I picked up some of those, so I'll try those too. So I have really, in terms of vitamins, I take 6 a day. So 2 multivitamins. They look enormous, but they're chewable. They're really not that bad. And then those 4 chews, and that's it. I understand that a lot of patients who have the duodenal switch have to take lots and lots and lots of vitamins on a daily basis, kind of spread throughout the day. I'm really glad that my doctor recommended this particular procedure for me. It's kind of a modified duodenal switch because I don't have to be taking that many multivitamins for the rest of my life. So I figure in the morning, as soon as I get up, I take those 2 multivitamins, and I take my half pill for blood pressure, and then my thyroid pill, and then I set a timer for 2 hours later, and that's when I take these little chewables, kind of like Starburst, I said. So they're not bad, and then I'm done for the day. So far it's been going well. It's certainly something that I can see being able to sustain long term for the rest of my for the rest of my life. It's important for me that it's not, I don't want to be taking I didn't want to be taking pills forever, every 3 hours forever. So that's why my doctor recommended this, and this has everything that I need. Certainly I'll have to go there on a regular basis for them to run labs on me to make sure that my blood levels are good, my vitamins are good, and then I suppose we can adjust from there. But my next appointment with my doctor isn't until my 3-month post-op. So that's not until June, and it's April 2nd now. So I got plenty of time to kind of establish myself in this routine, and then we'll go from there. But I feel confident that this is going to be doable. Just taking them twice a day, just 2 hours apart. And like I said, those chews, they don't even taste like medicine at all. They just taste, like I said, like caramel or like coconut. They taste like, sweet Starburst, and they're actually quite tasty. So I think that's pretty cool. What else is happening? Those are the big things. I'm a little bit concerned. So, but I digress. Okay, so my husband and I had planned a trip, and it was supposed to be in about a week. Now, in light of the fact that I was going to have surgery, decided to push it out till June. And that trip, every year we typically go to Las Vegas for a few days, which is something that I always look forward to. We really enjoy. In preparation for this surgery, I had made the conscious decision to quit smoking. I was a regular smoker for about 18 years. Smoked probably half a pack a day, fairly regularly. And I knew that, when it came to the pre-op diet stuff and, the weight loss portion, it would be really difficult to both quit smoking and focus on weight loss at the same time. So I said, just screw that. And back in November 2nd, actually, and today's April 2nd. So exactly, so November 2nd was my last cigarette. And it's completely out of my system now. I don't miss it. I don't miss it all that much. Now, I'm really fortunate in the sense that I work from home. I'm not surrounded by smokers. When I go out, I'm very aware of smokers. I can really smell it. And I was worried that it was going to smell, oh my God, that smells so good. And sometimes it is, but most of the time it kind of smells gross to me. But Vegas will be a true test for me. And I'm a little nervous about that. Now, granted, it's not, we've pushed out the trip until June, but I'm a little worried about going there because that was my playground, right? I mean, we'd gamble, I'd play blackjack, we'd have fun, I'd eat food, tons of food. I would drink and free drinks while you're gambling. And of course, they say, no drinking, no consuming alcohol for a year post-surgery. So I don't know if I can't smoke, I can't eat, and I can't drink. I don't know if, how much fun am I going to have? And I don't want it to ruin Vegas for me. But I don't know. I mean, I've got a few months to think about it, but it caused me a little bit of anxiety to think about going there. And I was like, what am I going to do? I mean, I guess I can still gamble and stuff, but is it going to be that much fun if I can't? Well, I mean, let's be honest. If I can't drink and smoke, is it going to be fun? I don't know. We'll see. I got some time to think about it. I go back to work next week. Like I said, I work from home. I'm an operations manager for an IT consulting sort of company. Like I said, I work from home, so that'll be interesting. And I took the extra time. I probably physically could have gone back. I don't have a lot of energy now, so we'll see how that goes. But I really want to get into the habit of, drinking liquids, the whole 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, getting a routine of eating on a regular basis. I really want to feel comfortable with that before I went back to work. Because when I'm working, it's so easy for time to all of a sudden, I've got my head down and I'm working, and then boom, it's been 3 hours and I haven't had a sip of water. So that's not going to be good to still be able to focus on my protein goals and my liquid goals. So I'm thinking it's going to be better that I waited. So, but we'll go back next week. I'll let you know how that goes. But anyway, that's about it. Those are the things that have been running around my tiny little brain. Those are things that have been going on with me. So I guess I'll try to continue providing an update probably once a month. Or excuse me, once a week probably for a while. And then I'm sure I'll change it up to monthly. I guess we'll just see how I'm feeling. If I feel like doing a video, then I'll make a video. And you can watch it if you want to. But anyway, I hope you are all doing really, really well. I want to take a moment and say thank you for sticking with me and listening to me rant and ramble. Your comments and your friendship and your support. I can't even put into words. It just means so much to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all the comments and the support. It really means a lot to me. It really makes me feel like I'm part of the team. It makes me feel like I'm part of the community, and it makes me feel less isolated, I suppose. So thank you for being you and for hanging out with me. And with that, I will catch up with y'all later. Take care. Bye.